Now on Coast TV News.
Freezing temperatures and windy conditions in Ocean City, how some homeowners prepared. A deadly house fire, what happened this morning in Wicomico County. Burst pipes, what you should know as temperatures stay cold.
The cold and breezy conditions continue to start the week as that powerful storm moves farther into the ocean, near freezing on Monday, above freezing at times this upcoming week, and some chances of rain and snow as well. Forecast details coming up.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
Strong winds along the coast causing concerns for some. Good evening, I'm Emma Aiken. Thanks for staying up with us after the game. We begin tonight with how the frigid temperatures affected Ocean City. The roads may be clear there in Ocean City, but the weather could still cause problems in the coastal town. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappe shows us how the freezing and windy conditions could affect you.
Harsh winds, crashing waves, and freezing temperatures.
The extreme cold has put the fear of frozen pipes into my life.
Howard Swartz is enjoying the view at the Ocean City Inlet and is staying in Ocean Pines at his second home to make sure nothing is damaged during the cold snap.
I had come down really just to make sure the house was okay, and now I'm spending a couple of extra days here to make sure the house stays okay.
Tom Altenwalder also lives in Ocean Pines and was concerned not only for the cold, but also the wind.
We checked on and winterized our boats a lot, tied down some furniture, mostly because of the wind, and added a couple space heaters to little areas of the house that maybe, we were worried about the things freezing.
With freezing temperatures and windy conditions, that could also bring another problem, erosion. These conditions are bringing rough waves in Ocean City.
Definitely concerns about erosion, and the waves hitting the input are very similar to the waves we've had when we've had hurricanes in the past and nor'easters. These are tremendous waves with potential to do damage.
With cold temperatures, strong winds, be sure you are prepared to face Mother Nature before going outside. I'm Kevin Zappe, Ocean City, Coast TV News.
As freezing temperatures continue and a lot of this ice just still hasn't melted, several schools across Delmarva will have 2-hour delays Monday morning. Some districts include Laurel, Seaford, and those in Caroline County, Dorchester County, and Talbot County. We do have a full list of closings and delays, not only schools, but churches and other places as well, right at the top of our website on coasttv.com. We're now taking a look outside into Milford. Our first alert meteorologist, Bob Trihey, joins us now. Bob, this is a very wintry winter.
Emma, that's a great way to put it, a wintry winter. We have been below the freezing mark for about a week now, so we are just iced in. And look at this, we're still way below freezing. 22 in Georgetown and Millsboro right now, 26 in Lewis, 24 in Bethany Beach. Winds coming in out of the northwest, still pretty gusty at the beaches, and we're feeling like temperatures in the teens and 20s right now, even 12 at Indian River Inlet, 22 in Millsboro. You see some high clouds over eastern Delaware and Maryland. This is the outer fringes of that massive winter storm that is well offshore now, but it is well over 700 miles away. That's just how massive this storm is. We have high pressure building in behind this system that will bring sunshine tomorrow, but a cold start in the morning with mid-teens and temperatures getting close to the freezing mark tomorrow afternoon, but feeling like single digits above zero with the wind, and temperatures finally above freezing at times this week, and some rain and snow chances as well. More on that coming up in just a bit.
Bob, thank you, and be sure to download the Coast TV app for your phone and tablet. We've been using it for special coverage all throughout this winter weather, but all of our news is always on this, and in case you didn't know, you can also get the Coast TV streaming app for your TV with devices like Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. New tonight, 2 people were killed in a house fire early this morning in Wicomico County. According to the Maryland State Fire Marshal, the fire broke out just before 2:40 at a home on Old Ocean City Road, the area on your screen in Parsonsburg. Take a look at the scene here. Authorities say an off-duty firefighter rushed in and tried to rescue someone inside, but was overcome with heavy smoke and later flown to a hospital in stable condition. Firefighters battled the blaze for nearly 2 hours, and the cause is now under investigation. We do have more on this deadly house fire in an article right now on coasttv.com. Delaware State Police arrested a man from Philadelphia early Friday after a high-speed chase that ended with drug and DUI charges. Troopers say the driver took off during a traffic stop near Frederica, and the pursuit was later called off for safety. Troopers say then the car was eventually found disabled in Milford. Police say the driver, 29-year-old Marquand Mack, struggled with officers, tossed suspected cocaine, and showed signs of impairment. He's now jailed on multiple charges, according to police. An important update on the Back the Blue event honoring Corporal Matthew Ty Snook, who was shot and killed in December. Due to extreme cold and icy conditions at Hudson Fields, organizers have now moved the event to the Georgetown DMV. Partnering with the Delaware Division of Motor Vehicles, the event will take place on February 8th from 8:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. and will run rain or shine unless severe weather forces additional changes. Just like the video you're seeing from past events, this will be a drive-through where people may get a memorial sticker for their car. Well, we've been talking a lot about this frigid weather. Take a look here. These are all burst pipes that one plumbing company has collected recently. We have more on what you can do to prevent this in your home as the cold continues.
Plumbers tell us they got a call from the homeowner here who said he noticed water starting to fill up his home. Once plumbers got here, they noticed a pipe had burst, and experts say once they burst, there's really no small solution.
This is the pipe here, behind the downstairs bathroom in the home. Plumbing technician Jeremiah Bull with Selby Family Plumbing says one key move probably could have prevented this.
This insulation here is stayed wet and frozen. It's very cold. So putting this insulation back, making sure everything's insulated, will help keep your pipes from freezing.
Bull says you can insulate the pipes themselves, but most effective is insulating the entire area. The company says it's been a handful of homes dealing with this expensive problem this week. There are freeze-damaged pipes seen here. And plumbing technician Dean Selby says he doesn't expect the demand to stop until the cold does.
We are looking at a higher call volume for frozen lines, broken lines, things like that.
And Selby says the type of pipe does matter. PVC, which Selby says is really common in our area, actually has a better alternative.
This pipe gets really brittle as it ages, so what we're doing when we come across this, especially in an exposed area, is we're replacing it with a PEX piping. This is PEX A pipe, and one of the really good benefits about this is it's going to expand when the water freezes.
Selby says, of course, expandable pipes aren't 100% foolproof, but they are better. These experts, as well as other plumbing companies we've talked with, agree that running a steady stream of water is a more useful preventative measure than the drip method. A little bit of water now could save you a lot of water later and a lot of money from going down the drain. In Sussex County, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News. Experts say if your pipes do burst, turn off the water as soon as you notice it. Selby Family Plumbing says sometimes if you catch it within an hour, pipes can be heated back up, but that most of the time prevention is really the only solution. Remember, experts say another tip is opening your cabinets, especially below your sinks, to let the heat in. During this extreme cold, everyone wants to stay warm, but using more energy means higher power bills. We spoke with two electric companies who say it takes much more energy to warm a house in these conditions, so small measures you take in your home can help better the entire power grid. Delaware Electric Cooperative says it's always a better idea to be over-prepared. That means having an emergency kit, including medications you may need, or even things like pet food, plus an emergency plan with friends and family. And if you're worried about higher than usual energy bills, Delaware Municipal Electric Corporation says conservation is key.
We need lower usage, but this time it's going to be usually between the hours of 6 and 9 a.m. because of how cold it gets overnight. So during the summer, it's pretty much after work, but in the wintertime, it's in the morning when everyone's HVAC units are turning on.
Experts say also a humidifier may help you feel warmer because moist air actually traps heat better. That's a better alternative, experts say, than a space heater, which uses a lot of energy and may raise the cost of your power bills. While most of us are bundling up to stay warm, farmers say we can't forget about the animals. With With cold weather moving in our area, protecting livestock becomes more important. Courageous Hearts is one of the many places here in Delaware with farm animals trying to keep their livestock protected from the cold. Rebecca Bobman, who has worked at the farm since she was 16, says while horses grow a thick winter coat, their hooves can be more vulnerable.
They're kind of like dogs, but the bottom part is like our fingernails. That doesn't really affect them, but right here is where the skin starts to connect, and if that gets too icy, it can start to bring their body temperature down a little bit.
Farmers say that some horses need a little extra care, so they use blankets or covers to keep them warmer since they might have a thinner coat of hair. However, they say cows and donkeys generally do fairly well in the cold temperatures. We are just getting started here on Coast TV News at 11. Coming up later, preferring pets. New data shows many Americans would rather have a furry friend as the cost of raising children goes up.
Yet another day with temperatures over 20 degrees below average, 24 the high, 15 the low, 0 the record low back in 1965. We've got a full moon coming up tomorrow, some slightly warmer temperatures, and some rain and snow chances as well. Your full forecast coming up after the break.
And after that, frigid weather across the country. Millions of Americans still dealing with record low temperatures. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just 60 seconds.
The relentless Arctic chill continues to plague Delmarva. It got really accentuated with that big coastal storm to our south, kicking up the winds today. A high of only 24 in Georgetown and Ocean City, 25 in Salisbury. As I mentioned earlier, we've been below freezing for about a week as we're looking at the Tidal Health Cam in Salisbury. And oh, there's our furry friend, the groundhog. Tomorrow's Groundhog Day. Will he say 6 more weeks of winter? We'll have to see what Punxsutawney Phil thinks. We're going to be near the 32-degree mark as we go into tomorrow afternoon with full sunshine. Tuesday into Wednesday, mid to upper 30s, above freezing with some rain and snow chances later Tuesday and Wednesday. Right now looking like a minor system. And tomorrow the weather should be great for our full snow moon. That's shortly after 5 p.m. and it's a full moon, the second one of the season, of the year rather. We could see sleep disturbances, heightened sensitivity, and creative energy bursts with the snow moon. So I'd like to see that for sure, as it will be a beautiful spectacle as we go into tomorrow evening. But bundle up as you check out the moon. 22 in Georgetown right now, 23 in Bethany Beach, Rehoboth 24, Milford right now at 21 degrees, and we still have those persistent winds out of the northwest. They were really howling earlier today, and they have calmed down a little bit, gusting close to 20 at the coast right now. So it feels like temperatures 14 in Georgetown, 11 Indian River Inlet, 16 in Delmarva. I think we're looking at feels like temperatures in the single digits, maybe even around 0 tomorrow morning. So that puts us in the moderate to high range of seeing frostbite. Not as bad Tuesday and Wednesday, but then we're back into that moderate range Thursday and Friday with single digit feels like temperatures. And those temperatures do modify above freezing, I think, Tuesday, Wednesday, and into Friday, but still well below the average of 46. And then really cold again into next weekend with temperatures into the upper 20s. We're starting to clear things out. We had some of those cirrus clouds shielding the nearly full snow moon. And as I mentioned earlier, these clouds connected to the incredible ocean storm. This is over 700 miles away, and this thing looks like a hurricane right now with almost having an eye feature to it. But this dumped a lot of snow across the Carolinas to the tune of about 6 to 12 inches, some of the most snow they've seen in a very long time. But we'll be seeing high pressure building in tomorrow with full sunshine, but very cold, mid-teens in the morning hours, and then by 10 a.m. into the low to mid-20s, and then by afternoon near that freezing mark. A few clouds tomorrow evening, and as we go into Tuesday morning, we're into the upper teens, and then finally above freezing as clouds increase Tuesday afternoon into the mid to upper 30s. As winds will be breezy tonight on into your Monday, still gusting over 20 miles per hour, finally quieting down tomorrow night. It feels like temperatures tomorrow as cold as 1 below 0, feeling like teens in the afternoon, still very cold Tuesday morning, not as bad Tuesday afternoon. And with that full moon, astronomical high tide, watch for some inundation situation at the coast with the coastal flood advisory tomorrow morning to 1 p.m. on Monday afternoon. European model bringing in a little bit of rain and snow with a system coming out of a northwest flow. Not a huge deal. Maybe a stronger system comes in Friday with a better chance of rain and snow and below normal temperatures into the middle part of February. But I think a bigger warm up next week. 14 tonight, very cold, breezy, 32 tomorrow. Paul Davis 7-day forecast. Near 40 on Tuesday. Break out the shorts and t-shirts. There's that rain and snow chance mainly Wednesday morning, colder Thursday, more rain, snow Friday, and then really cold into the weekend again, and temperatures in the upper 20s.
Bob, thank you. And it's not just here on Delmarva. Right now, more than 200 million people are under cold alerts. Dozens of areas in the south and east could break or tie low temperature records through Monday as temperatures plummet more than 30 degrees below normal. As Jen Sullivan reports, the frigid weather comes as much of the southeast digs out from several inches of snow.
Look at it snowing here.
A massive winter storm dropping historic snowfall across the southeast, causing treacherous travel conditions in multiple states.
We're continuing to ask those that don't need to travel to please stay at home.
Overnight into Sunday, portions of Interstate 85 in North Carolina were shut down. More than 100 drivers were stranded amid several crashes. The National Guard was called in to help. Hours later, the highway reopened. Snow totals in a few areas reaching well over a foot.
In eastern North Carolina, we don't have the equipment like other parts of the country that do see substantial amounts of snowfall.
This system grew into a bomb cyclone, also unleashing hurricane-force winds.
So there's one of those powerful wind gusts.
Many coastal communities worried about high tides and flooding.
This is a passing coastal low that always brings us concern about beachfront erosion.
This storm also plunging temperatures below freezing.
Most people aren't going out just because we don't even have the, gear, the coats and the gloves and stuff to handle being outside when it's this cold.
Crews using a blowtorch to melt this frozen water fountain in Virginia. Even Tampa, Florida, seeing snow flurries Sunday. The frigid cold is expected to linger across the south and east for several days. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
Still to come on Coast TV News, Olympics on the way. The touching story of one volunteer headed to Milan. We are less than a week away from the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympic Games, and they will be filled with athletes fulfilling their Olympic dreams. The excitement extends to volunteers as well. Some 18,000 will welcome visitors to Italy. Susan Kim introduces us to a Milwaukee man who will be traveling to Milan to volunteer. As she reports, this is not his first Olympic rodeo.
Buongiorno.
Chris Brust is practicing his Italian phrases ahead of an exciting new adventure.
You're going to the Winter Olympics.
Yes.
Chris will fly out of Milwaukee at the end of January to spend 8 days volunteering in Milan at one of 2 hockey rinks. He will help visitors and answer questions as they make their way into Rhino Arena.
So as a volunteer, what are you looking forward to the most?
Just greeting people and just being out there and helping people out and just show them the most amazing time they can have.
Chris's big volunteer opportunity came from a chance meeting 5 years ago at Disney World. He struck up a conversation with a stranger who was wearing an Olympics jacket. That stranger turned out to be famed Italian chef Carlo Zari.
And I just said, I like your Olympic jacket. I actually worked at the Salt Lake City Olympics. And he said, well, I'm actually one of the delegates from the Milan, Italy Olympic Committee. And he said, wow, I really liked you so much. Milan is in the running of getting the Olympics. Would you be interested of coming to work for us at the Olympics? I said yes.
A friendship blossomed and an Olympic volunteer opportunity came true. As Chris mentioned, he has volunteered before.
In Salt Lake.
Yeah, 2002 Winter Games.
Yes.
What was that like?
It was amazing. I was outside in the cold, snowing all the time, seeing the ski jumping, the luge, and the bobsledding.
Chris has a lifetime of memories from 2002.
Collected all of these items in Salt Lake City.
Yes.
that include meeting now retired TMJ4 News anchor Mike Jacobs, who was there covering Wisconsin athletes in the games. From photos to pins, even autographs from members of the Jamaican bobsled team. Chris still remembers the joy of volunteering at the Winter Olympics.
I like the feeling of greeting people from anywhere in the world, no matter where they're from.
Don't forget the Winter Olympics run February 6th to the 22nd, only here on Coast TV. Plus, don't forget the Super Bowl airs right here on Coast TV News Sunday, February 8th. Pregame starts at 1 and kickoff is at 6:30. Still to come, protests in Minnesota, thousands hitting the streets as ICE operations continue. That's up next on Coast TV News. Tensions continue flaring in the Twin Cities as ICE operations are set to continue, at least for now. Thousands of protesters flooding the streets this weekend for a march and rally at Bryant Park Square. The march was organized by advocacy groups including the Twin Cities Coalition for Justice and the Minnesota Immigration Rights Action Committee. The protest followed a ruling earlier by a Minnesota federal judge who denied a lawsuit seeking to halt Operation Metro Surge, which has sparked weeks of protests amid the shootings of Renee Good and Alex Pretty by federal immigration officers. Meanwhile, protesters are vowing to continue rallying against ICE's presence in Minneapolis. 5-year-old Liam Ramos and his father are back in Minneapolis after being released from federal custody in Texas. That's according to Texas Representative Joaquin Castro. A federal judge ordered their release as their immigration case proceeds through the courts. Liam Conejo Ramos and his father have been detained for more than a week after they were taken by immigration agents from their suburban Minneapolis driveway. The detention of the preschooler has fed mounting outrage over the Trump administration's immigration crackdown in Minneapolis. Nearly half of Americans prefer to have a pet over having a kid, with the cost of raising kids in the last 2 years raising 25% to about $300,000, while earnings have risen just 3%. Are kids still affordable for most Americans? NBC's Marquise Francis has more.
You love your grandma. A growing number of young Americans are choosing to have pets over children.
Hey, baby. You slept the day away. They're my family. They're my children.
As the fertility rate in the U.S. in 2024 hit a record low amid fears of economic instability, some Americans are stepping outside the box with their family makeup.
My mom calls my dogs her grandchildren.
Raven McGregor, who lives in Atlanta, runs a popular Instagram page with her 2 bulldogs, Sunny and Zoe.
They are a part of the family, and we don't look at it as if they are pets. They are truly like little kids with 4 legs.
For her, there is no difference between a furry kid and a human one. And she's not alone. 43% of Americans say they prefer to have a pet as their kid over human children, according to a recent Harris poll.
It was simple math right now. I'm already stretched thin, so adding that child, adding that burden is a barrier for me.
On TikTok, West Virginia native Sarah Morris showcases life with her fiance and their 2 cats, Sunday and Banana. But she says even the finite number of brand partnerships she gets in addition to her 9-to-5 as a flight attendant leaves little left over.
When people feel secure, they make long-term plans. When times of instability, they have to adapt. And adapting for us right now looks like shifting what the meaning of family looks like. Do you want to explain to people why you're in trouble? Yeah. 17 of them, buddy.
I have 4 cats and I have 4 kids. And which one do you think is easier to take care of?
Janie Budnick is the cat, or chief of all things for 4-legged kids, St. Louis's largest staff in-home pet care service. Budnick has seen the family dynamic between people with pets shift in the last 30 years.
Really, it's that shift of they are treated as children. If you do some of the comparison between what a healthy pet, what the expenses are during a year versus a healthy child, I mean, you can be 10 times plus.
A Brookings study from 2022 found that it costs about $300,000 to raise a child in the U.S. from birth through age 17, which includes basics like housing, food, clothing, and education. By comparison, pet costs were roughly $27,000 over 18 years.
What would be your advice to someone who doesn't know if an actual human kid or a pet kid is best for them?
If anyone has a hesitation about having a human child, please do not. You have to really be confident in yourself that that's the path that you want to take to bring a human into this world.
Growth on the coast. We know it's a big issue. We have growing pains because everyone wants to live here, but it comes at a cost. Roads, infrastructure, development, a loss of open space. All of that creates conflict and concerns. CoastTV News has investigated all the deep-seated issues that brought us to where we are today. On February 4th at 7 p.m., join us for a 1-hour special to help you understand the price of paradise, growth on the coast. After the break here on CoastTV News, as we take a look outside into Rehoboth Beach, we have a final check on your forecast. CoastTV News continues in just a few moments. We talked about it a little bit last night, but now Groundhog Day is just a few hours away. With this freezing cold weather recently, it seems like even more pressure is on Punxsutawney Phil this year. I have actually had the honor of attending the tradition in Gobbler's Knob. Here's some content on your screen. There was even fireworks at 6 a.m. It's truly a one-of-a-kind experience. My friends and I went 2 years ago, and we had the good fortune of Phil not seeing his shadow and predicting an early spring. Now the question is, will it be the same this year? What do you think, Bob?
Emma, at the rate we're going, the way we've been iced in, I highly doubt it. I think we've got several more weeks of winter with a few warm spells sprinkled in. We'll have to see about that. And of course, the groundhogs, to see what they say tomorrow. And by the way, great pictures too. We're looking at teens early on tomorrow, single-digit feels like temperatures, and we finally get close to that freezing mark tomorrow, around 32. Paul Davis 7-day forecast close to 40. On Tuesday, some rain and snow possible Wednesday, not a big system, 37. Colder Thursday, maybe a more significant system of rain and snow Friday. And then it's icy cold again for the weekend. But the good news is we warm up into next week, 40 by Wednesday, and maybe even warmer beyond that. Let's hope, Emma.
Let's hope. Thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News after the game. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. We will see you in just a few hours for Coast TV News starting today at 5 a.m. Have a great night.